Hello, it is the 26th of July 2011. Welcome to today's silver analysis. It is now running on 10:40 in the morning, and silver is $40.07. It says 17 on here, but it's down about 10 cents. Since that point, really not doing a whole heck of a lot today, as we had the day yesterday where it broke past this resistance level, trying to break higher. It's still trying to do so, but at the same point, it's still holding above the significant 40 level, the significant 39 level, as well as even the 38 level. And since this move in here, this is now 9 consecutive days holding above the significant Fibonacci level. As long as it stays above this line, then I'm really not going to be getting bearish for that for really any reason. And this 18-period average is going to the upside. It's at 39.15, which tells you the market still can correct through time before this would end up meeting up within it. As far as the targets for the upside, the big level right here is this 42. On the quarter day chart, the 5-day moving average, it's still trying to find a decision for where it's wanting to go from there. In here is where we had the test of the 5-day moving average, and it still hasn't completed the test. It went below the 5, but it didn't break down, recaptured within the area, and got above it. It's trying to stay above. No, now it's below it. Now it went above it, and it's pretty much back there. So a lot of indecision on this 5-day moving average test. Once it breaks it to one side or another, the volatility is probably just going to start to scorch to the upside. But if we take a look at this type of range in here, for the most part, it's traded within $40 and $40.50 over 4 candles, each candle representing 6 hours. That's about a 1% and change move over a 24-hour period. That is extremely unvolatile. And because of that, these bands are lowering in, and this one's going higher, moving within each other. And that's the way this is calculated. It takes the volatility within the market, and when the volatility is higher, the bands expand up, this going higher, this going lower. And when the volatility lowers, like we're seeing, you see this one going higher and this one going lower. But again, it's holding above this significant level and holding above for a decent amount of time for the most part can be very efficient. And we'll now segue into a spreadsheet, and we're looking at what it says 30 straight. What that means is the amount of straight days silver has traded above $30 per ounce. All of this comes from the LBMA webpage. The dates from the LBMA. Therefore, in December the 31st, 1979, silver got above $30 an ounce. It stayed there for 50 consecutive days and it never came back. Not until just before Christmas of this last year, or around 30 years later. For one day, it was above 30, and then a few weeks later, it got above 30 again. It held for 4 days, but that was about it. And then on the 9th of February, it was there for a day. That was it. And now, since February the 11th, we have now had 113 consecutive days above this significant level. Okay. How about 40? In the time frame of January 15th, 1980 to January 22nd, it was there 6 times. And then again in 80 was there one more time, one more time. Earlier this year, we had 15 consecutive days above 40. And on the 18th of July, we had 2 consecutive days just recently, and now we are at 2 more consecutive days above $40 per ounce. I think what's interesting to note here is that, one, times are much different than they were back in 1980, just for the simple fact that it's been able to hold and stay above $30 a lot longer than it did back then. And we've stayed and held above $40 a lot longer than we did back then. Now, as far as 20 straight days is concerned, this is the streak on the 20. December the 12th, 1979 to March the 14th of 80 was 65 consecutive days. And it really never tangled too much. This wasn't too big of an area. But since the 14th of September, it has now been above it for 218 consecutive days, and it's right now not looking to look back. As far as 12 consecutive or $12 consecutive days, it never got there until December the 6th, 79. And then on September 14th, it was there for 173 days, and then a week later for 194 days. And I'll just scroll down for a few other ones. This is now to the current. We've currently had 573 consecutive days. On $8, this is a plain out typo that I don't know how I didn't fix. It was a comma error, but from May the 1st, 79 to May the 1st, 79, it traded for 1 consecutive days above $8. And then it had 679, a decent amount of time. And currently we are at 1,436 consecutive days holding above $8, $5. Wasn't until February the 11th, 1974 that silver hit $5 per ounce and was there for 40 consecutive days. And this is the big level that it just kept bouncing above and below on so many different occasions. And then on May the 3rd, 78, for about up until 1982, it had over 1,000 consecutive days above $5. And then a few days later, it did it again. It had another 1,000 consecutive days above $5. So over a period from May the 3rd, 78 to May the 19th, 86, it was above $5 for every day with the exception of June the 19th to June the 21st. And again, it had a long period of time from July the 31st to 86. It was there for 923 days. Now, this is a little bit suspicious. To me, this is showing more towards price suppression within the silver market. And it's just continuing on and on. So many consecutive times. And there's a lot on this list. There's a 300 consecutive period. There's a 200. The record was 1,043. And we are obviously, we've taken that out. 1,948 is a consecutive streak going back to November the 10th. Finally, $3. This one is basic and simple. On December the 4th, 73, it got above $3. It did it for 2 consecutive days. A couple days later, it got above it again. That held for about 5 days. And then a few days later, it got above it again. It's been above it since December the 17th, 1973 for 9,504 consecutive days. This one is fairly safe to say that we'll never go below this one again. But these are the stats, fairly useless for most people. And some people, well, maybe not so much. Thank you for watching and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.